riding his bike, and he had a mustache and long hair and so forth, and I thought he looked really interesting. So I called out the window, and he came in, because he knew me and my roommates and so forth, and then our mutual friend, this Tom Pollock, was there, and so I asked him if he wanted to go get an ice cream cone with us, and he said sure. So we did, and we had a real nice time chatting away, and then Tom called a couple of days later and said, does anyone want to go on a bike ride? And I thought, yeah, I do. So we went on the bike ride.
She had 2 roommates.
And I really liked them.
Now, this is all new, of course. I mean, you're photographing now. It's all new.
And then after we went on the bike ride, he asked me to go on a picnic. And so his idea of a picnic is the girl does all the food and makes a nice picnic and stuff. And I had been out like this Saturday night with someone else and had a big night. And then Sunday morning I was supposed to go on the picnic with him, and I didn't have any food, so I just did bologna sandwiches and an apple in a bag. And I think he thought this was real strange. I had no time to make anything nice. But then we were interested in each other, and then that was in the very end of July, and he asked me to marry him in September. And I didn't know
6 or 8 weeks
him
later,
so
we were
long.
engaged.
Wow.
And then we were married in November. So it's like once we figured out that we wanted to do this, you know, nowadays people have 1-year or 2-year engagements.
Right,
we
right.
didn't do that. I
It
was in
kind of
graduate school. You were going to move to California,
I was
but
ready
you
to move to
didn't. I mean,
California.
it was, there wasn't really much to sort out.
Right. And where was the wedding?
The wedding was at a Quigley Chapel, which was part of the seminary system in Chicago, but our regular church was being repaired, so they let people use this chapel, and then the reception was at the Ambassador East Hotel downtown, and it was very nice. And then we went to New Orleans on our wedding trip, and yeah, I was in graduate school, and I went right back to fit my exams for the first quarter and everything.
We lived in the city for a couple of years, and then bought our first house in Evanston. We moved north in the city. We lived in Rogers Park, where we're going now, and then kept coming north. Found the house in Evanston. We were there for about 10 years. And just before I think your family left, we moved to
Oh, we should have showed them the house on Warrington, because
did we buy that before or after they
I don't know.
left? We bought that in 82, I think it was. Yeah.
So when, do you remember what year it was when you left here?
84, I believe.
84, okay.
Yeah, early 84.
So they would know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dwan might remember more. Does he remember much stuff?
I think he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also, the family across the street from us, the Darrows, Jill and John Darrow, they also were helpful with your family. They didn't do so much, but remember her stepfather was was he a general, Tom?
Some officer.
He was a general or something in the Air Force, and so he heard we were helping these Vietnamese people, and he was rather suspicious about this whole thing. And then, so we brought your mom and dad over to meet him, and he was charmed by them, and he thought they were so nice. And I remember when he shook your dad's hand, he gave him money.
Wow. I gotta say, my parents are pretty charming. They've always stayed that way,
They're
too.
very charming.
You know?
And your dad is very smiley. He's
Mhm.
quiet, but he's smiley.
Yeah, he is.
Well, they look well. I'm glad they're
Mhm.
doing so well.
Yeah, they were so happy I was able to make contact with you guys, and
Yeah.
it's all through Facebook. We had old phone numbers for you guys, and they all were
Mm.
not working. And
Oh.
so,
Yeah.
and the emails were not working. So I was like, maybe
Oh,
they're
that's
on
right.
Facebook.
Old
Changed,
emails
yeah.
and old
Oh, yeah.
numbers,
Yeah.
that's
When
right.
we moved to Glenview, we had to change all of that.
Hmm. So I looked up Maureen Sheehy, and there were so many.
That's right.
And then I was like, well, maybe Justin. Justin would probably be on Facebook. So I found him. There's not too many Justin Sheehys.
That's right. There's somebody who has a band, Justin Sheehy, in L.A.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Huh.
I think they get a lot of miscommunication.
Right.
He plays the guitar or something.
I love that cover photo he has on the Facebook now, where he's just him pointing at a sign that says Justin's.
Yeah,
And
isn't that cute?
where is that from? What?
We were down in Arizona
Uh-huh.
at a place called Canyon Duche. It was an Indian holdout in
Okay.
the wars in the West, and it's a beautiful place. And they had a lodge down there called Justin's, and we stayed there. I think we had a what do you call it, a van, and what do you call it, Tom? A camper thing.
Camper.
Mm.
And it belonged to Tom's parents, and then we took it and went through Arizona for about 10 days
Mhm.
and had a great vacation.
But the pictures, the kids are real excited about. I found in our basement last year ago
Mhm.
a box of old slides,
Mhm.
and there were 3,000 slides because I had a camera that took slide pictures when they were growing
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
So all these pictures of them growing up on these little slides, and I've never seen. So I digitized them, put them all on the computer,
Yeah.
and then for Christmas I put together books for each one of them, photo books. They're growing up books, I call them.
Yeah.
So I had all of these pictures of the family travels and birthday parties and all that stuff. And I came up with about 900 to 1,000 pictures for each one of the three
Oh,
kids.
that's awesome.
But I only put like 200 in the book.
Uh-huh.
So I put all the rest of them on a flash drive and
Yeah.
gave them each a flash drive with all the pictures. Well, they're so excited. They keep putting them on the Facebook
Yeah.
all the time.
That's
And
those are rare. Like not too
Yeah.
many people had so many slides of them growing up. And that.
yeah, so
That's
they've
awesome.
really gotten a great pleasure out of it.
Mm.
Cara changes hers all the time too. She's sending pictures from. She lived in Australia, and
Yeah.
so she'll get responses from people all over the world saying, "Oh, I remember that picture. Remember that how did you get the picture?" And Justin's gotten a lot of responses. He put them on the internet right away.
Mhm.
I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to put pictures on Facebook. All I know is, like, if somebody teaches me something, I know how to do it. But I can't figure anything out myself. If there's a problem, then I'm stuck because I don't know how to solve the problem. I just know
my
how to
computer
do.
won't.
I just know how to do what I know how to do.
Right. I'm sort of like that too. I think it takes a while to, but they don't make it that easy on Facebook. The photo link is kind of small.
Yeah.
And then to add an album is it's not too super intuitive, and they keep changing it as well. So.
And I have all these students.
Coming up to the where that little park was underneath the trains here.
Mhm.
Well, there'll be a passageway to the right. Coming up.
Your mom will remember the story.
Where is it? Where is it?
So this is Chicago Avenue, which turns into Clark Street.
Maybe they might have filled it in. There it is, down that little road. Yeah. Okay, that was the road. There was a park right beyond there. And you guys lived over here.
Okay.
Well, one of you walked over by yourself.
Yeah.
Now, none of this was here. This
Yeah, this is
This
new stuff
all-
here.
Okay.
It was just a big field before?
No, there's train lines there, so
I
the
see.
tracks are there, but they put a screen around it.
Uh-huh.
Did I miss the turn?
Yes,
I think
you
I
did.
You did. Okay.
Careful.
Go back.